Hello everyone, my name is Kyla Brown and I'm one of your NACPRO board members. I'm pleased to share some information about our annual awards program and provide you details about the nomination process and give you some tips and guidance for success as you navigate the application. In this video, we're going to review how to get started on your nomination, reviewing all of the awards categories, information on what to have prepared, important dates and deadlines, guidance for your competitive nomination, frequently asked questions, and technical tips. First up, getting started. You're going to want to navigate to the NACPRO Awards page. You can get there by going to nacpro.org/awards. There, you can read through all of the application or nomination information and download the 2026 awards information and instructions packet. You can review categories and determine which one you wish to apply for. You can also review the class categories here to determine where your agency fits based on the population size of who you serve. Please note that the categories and classes have been updated this year, so please be sure you're using the 2026 information. You can also review examples of past award winners for additional tips. You can see examples from who won before and what their nominations look like, and make sure that you are putting your best foot forward when you submit your nomination. Now let's do a quick review of those award categories, starting off with individual awards. There are several individual award categories, including Outstanding Public Official, Professional, and that includes a Lifetime Award, a Fellow, and a New Professional, and Friends of Parks and Recreation. And those categories include Outstanding Contributor, Outstanding Volunteer, and Outstanding Support Organization. When you visit the website and if you download the awards instructions, you will see a complete description on the qualifying factors for each of those awards. Please review those and determine which award is most appropriate for your nomination. Next up are our area and facility awards. This year, we've split the Parks and Facilities Awards into two categories. First, you'll have Natural Park and Facilities, meant to recognize excellence in the planning, preservation, and management of natural parks, including open space areas, conservation lands, and parks designed primarily for low-intensity, nature-based recreation. You'll also have an option for developed recreation parks and facilities to recognize outstanding design, development, and operation of active parks that include built recreation amenities such as sport fields, playgrounds, courts, and other amenities intended for higher intensity recreational use. Finally, we have our Trails and Corridors category, which is meant to recognize excellence in trail, greenway, waterway, corridor, and other linear park development projects. We've updated the classes that each of these categories can be nominated for. The award categories are divided into the following classes based on agency service area population. First is our Class 1. This is for a population service area of 200,000 people and under. Class 2 covers 200,001 people up to 749,999 people. Class 3 is 750,000 up to 1,999,999 people. And Class 4 is 2 million people and above. You can determine your class size by understanding who the population is that you serve. If you're a county, it might be your actual population of the county. If you serve multiple areas or jurisdictions, you may have to add the population of each of those together or use your agency's jurisdictional boundary to determine who you serve and how many people are in that area. Our next award category is Park and Recreation Program Awards. This award recognizes a NACPRO member agency that has provided an exceptional program, activity, or event, which provides an inspiration to other agencies. Again, this award category is divided into 4 classes based on your population served. Next up are our special awards. There are 7 awards categories in this area. Starting with conservation. Conservation recognizes an exceptional effort to acquire, restore, and preserve natural areas or significant conservation areas, as well as programs that create public awareness and appreciation for conservation efforts. Cultural history recognizes excellence in historic and cultural facility development, preservation, programming, interpretation, or events. Innovative financing recognizes creative, innovative, and entrepreneurial strategies to generate financial resources for park-related capital and operating expenses. Some examples might include, but aren't limited to, special taxes, referendums, millages, ballot initiatives, sponsorships, philanthropy, and partnerships. Continuing on with our remaining special award categories, marketing recognizes a marketing effort demonstrating unique, significant, or remarkable outcomes. This award category includes projects involving market research, marketing plans, promotion, advertising, and the use of information technologies. Planning initiative recognizes an outstanding research or planning project that contributes to a body of knowledge and advances the practice of planning. Community impact is a new award category, which honors a park system that has delivered measurable improvements in access, participation, engagement, and service for underserved and historically marginalized populations. This award recognizes initiatives that translate values into action through thoughtful planning, collaboration, and sustained community impact. Finally, universal accessibility recognizes a unique program or facility that enables and encourages greater participation in parks and recreation by persons with disabilities. Now that you've decided which award category is appropriate for you, it's important to pay attention to the dates and deadlines. The official nominations open up January 2nd, 2026 this year, and close January 30th. Please note that the nomination period is only 28 days this year, so please don't procrastinate. Get your nominations in early. From January 31st to March 19th, all nominations will be reviewed by our judges. March 23rd, award notifications will be sent to all submitters, letting you know whether or not you're receiving recognition for your nomination. And then May 20th will be the awards presentation ceremony, this year in Sarasota, Florida. Now let's move on to what information you should have available as you begin the application process. First, you'll need your membership information or website login information. If you are not a member but are applying on behalf of a member, you're going to need their access information in order to log in. That might be your agency administrator or director, so make sure you touch base with them and have their information handy. If you are not currently a member, you can become a member by visiting the website and registering for your membership before you start the application process. Next, you're going to want to have your contact person information available. The contact person is going to be the one receiving the communication about the award, and it might be different than your member information. You'll need their name, email, and phone number. For your nomination information, you'll need your project or nominee name, your organization name, the population of the area that you served, and this is for the class identification for the awards that are requiring that. And then you'll need the year the project was completed or the program occurred. Your achievement narrative is probably the most important part of the application or the nomination process. Make sure you are making the best case for why your nomination is worthy of recognition. This is your opportunity to tell your story and talk about the real impact that your nominee has had on the community or the nomination has had for the people that you serve. This awards narrative is limited to 2,000 characters or about 300 words. So you want to be succinct and concise. You'll need your support documents ready and combined as a single PDF with a 5 megabyte limit. You might include links to reports or more information regarding your nomination within your support documents. Finally, you'll need your 3 digital photos ready. You need 3 total, and they must be no larger than 2 megabytes each. Let's talk about some of those technical requirements. We're going to start with your photo format. Your photos are really important as we'll use those in the presentation or video for the awards program. So you'll want to make sure they're a good representation of your nomination or nominee. All of your photos or complex images need to be in JPEG format. That's .jpg. Avoid using PNG, TIFF, BMP. Those are all too large. And don't use HEIC, which is usually from an iPhone or an iPad. Those HEIC formatted images are not compatible. And avoid all raw formats, they're just too large. In terms of dimensions, these are not requirements, but just a good rule of thumb, if you check your dimensions and they're between these minimums and maximums listed here, it's probably a safe bet that they're the right size in terms of between 1 and 2 megabytes. Again, each image can't be larger than 2 megabytes, and make sure that you're uploading all 3. All right, let's move on to guidance for a competitive nomination. Be sure to plan ahead and start early. Remember, you only have 28 days for your nominations to be submitted this year. So gather all of your information, your pictures, your support materials, everything that you're going to need for that online submission. Once you start, you can't save and return to your application or your nomination form. You have to do it all in one sitting. So that's why it's important to have it all handy and ready to go. Type out your narrative ahead of time. Review your character and word count to make sure it's going to fit once you copy and paste it into the online nomination form. For individual awards, be sure to include the information that is required or relevant to the category that you've selected and the minimum requirements are met. For example, are they retired? Are they currently working? How many years of experience do they have? For area and facility awards, include information about what the community need was, any unique features or amenities, what makes this project stand out, and any meaningful impacts since the project was completed. For your program awards, highlight how the program is unique or exceptional, or in fact impactful to the community. Include metrics such as attendance, goals that were met, improvements in community impact, etc. For your special awards, be sure your nomination meets the criteria for the category that you're submitting in. Pay close attention to keywords and ensure you address all elements of your nomination in the description. Use metrics to support your data and demonstrate impact or success. So what should you include in your support documents? You can attach flyers, brochures, news releases or articles, any other support materials that help tell the story of your nomination. Remember that awards reviewers don't know your program or specific facility. You need to help them understand what your nomination is all about by providing materials that paint a good picture of what it is. You're going to want to merge all of your support documents into one single PDF. If it's a large document, you might need to compress or optimize the file to make it smaller. This can easily be done using Adobe Acrobat Pro, but you might also need to request assistance from your IT department, marketing staff, or administrative staff. Remember, you can add links directly into your supplemental document, and that can lead people to external images, websites, videos to give a better idea of what your nomination's all about. Please be sure that your file is no bigger than 5 megabytes. Include those 3 images. Find 3 digital images that best represent or showcase your nominee, project, or program. These images will be used in the awards presentation or video. They can't be any larger than 2 megabytes in size each, and they must be in JPEG or .jpg format. Remember that images that are taken on cell phones are sometimes reduced in size when shared from person to person, so make sure you have the original photo for the best quality and size. If you have more than 3 images, that's okay. Consider including them in your support documents or provide a link to a website, digital photo album, or social media post. Remember that all form fields are required to be complete in order to submit your nomination, so you won't be able to proceed to the next required item until you complete the one that you're on. So make sure each field is completed, and each of those fields is an opportunity to tell your story, so give it your best effort. Let's go over some of the frequently asked questions from year to year. Do you have to be a NACPRO member to apply? Yes, your agency must be a member. If you're not personally a member, you can apply using your director or administrator's membership information. If you're not sure if your agency is a member, you can visit the NACPRO website at nacpro.org/member-agencies to check the list of agencies, and you can also follow the membership information there if you're not currently a member, but you want to be in order to apply for an award. How do you submit your nomination? The nomination process is completely online via an online form. You can visit nacpro.org/awards and click on the Apply Now button to get started. How much does each nomination cost? Each nomination is $100 this year. Fees are non-refundable and may be paid by check, purchase order, or credit card. Remember, if you're submitting more than one nomination, NACPRO prefers to invoice you for the entire total. This saves time and processing costs and complies with most agencies' purchasing guidelines. So if you're applying for more than one award, you can click the purchase order option or pay by check option, and then you'll receive a total invoice from NACPRO directly. Can I apply for more than one award? Yes, each agency may apply for one award in each category, but remember, you can only receive a total of up to 2 awards, so choose wisely. Are there any date restrictions for the nominations I'm submitting? Yes. For certain categories, your nomination must be for projects, programs, and events that occurred or were completed in the prior year. For example, when submitting in January 2026, those programs, services, and projects should have occurred during 2025. Can I edit my submission after I submit it? Unfortunately, the answer is no. You will be provided an opportunity to preview your submission prior to finalizing and submitting it. Please read your nomination carefully and be sure you've uploaded the correct documents and digital images. If you run into trouble, contact Brenda. How do I find out if my submission was received? You will receive a confirmation email once your nomination is submitted. If you didn't receive a confirmation, check your spam or junk email box. If you still don't see it, contact Brenda. She can help track it down. How do I determine what class my agency is in? Use your service area population. If you're a county agency, this would be your latest census population information. If you serve more than one community or county, use your jurisdiction boundaries to determine your population served. How do I know if my agency has already received an award for a program, project, or individual? Past award recipients are posted to the NACPRO website. You can visit nacpro.org/award-recipients to review awardees from 2006 to the present. What if I miss the submittal deadline? Unfortunately, no nominations will be accepted after the submittal deadline. Please plan ahead and submit early. When do I find out if my nomination was selected for an award? All nominators will be notified by email March 23, 2026. The individual listed as the contact will be the one being notified by email. All right, we're making good headway and we're almost done. Here are some technical tips for areas that people typically run into trouble and need a little bit of assistance. We're going to start with determining the size of your PDF. Within Adobe Acrobat Pro, click on the menu in the upper left-hand corner, then click on Document Properties. Look at the file size to determine your current document size. If your file size is larger than 5 megabytes, you'll need to reduce it. In order to reduce the size of your PDF, you can compress your file by selecting Convert from the menu header, then select Compress a PDF and select Single File. You can also choose to optimize your PDF, which will reduce your file size. If you're going to merge multiple documents into one PDF, within Adobe Acrobat Pro, click on Edit, then choose Combine Files, click Add Files, and select one or more files from your computer. Select Open, and then you can arrange your file order by dragging your file pages up and down and select Combine. You can save your combined PDF with a new document name. Now let's talk about determining the size of your digital images. In File Explorer, your image size should display under Size in the Detail view, or you can right-click on your JPEG image, click Properties, and view your size. If your image size is larger than 2 megabytes, you'll need to reduce the size. There are several methods for reducing the size of your image depending on what tools you're using to view and edit your image. I'm not going to go through each one here, but it's a good idea to pause the video and jot down these notes, or you can always go to your web browser and search for the tool that you're using and specific step-by-steps on how to reduce your image size. We'll have one more page of these tips, so you can either pause here if you're using Windows Paint, or on the next page, we'll review additional options. Here are your additional options for reducing your image size. There are options for using Mac Preview, Adobe Photoshop, Adobe Acrobat, or if you use an online compressor with no software on your computer. Again, you can pause the video here to read the details for the method that you're using. And if you don't see the option here that can help you, again, go to your web browser or go to your IT or marketing specialist. They can usually help you reduce those image sizes. All right, let's move on to understanding the character count for your awards narrative. You may want to copy your text from Word into Notepad. This is going to eliminate any extra formatting from Microsoft Word. Sometimes that formatting can take up character count or space. Paste it into the form field. Eliminate any extra spaces that aren't necessary. Your narrative can be one paragraph, and line breaks or bulleted lists typically take up more characters. So if you have a numbered list, try a different format instead. There's an example here on the screen that you can follow. Check to make sure there are no extra spaces or lines at the top or bottom of your narrative, and eliminate any introduction or summary sentences. There's no need to say something like, "We're proud to nominate." We just want the information about your nomination to be clear and succinct. All right, hopefully you've gotten a good idea about the awards program, the nomination process, and some technical tips on how to be successful. On behalf of NACPRO and the awards committee, we thank you for taking the time to learn about our awards process. We wish you all the best as you submit your amazing people, programs, and projects for consideration. Good luck.